Hello and welcome to another video for myatmm.com. It's time to look for some transactions to track or some new positions to get into. So let's get right to it. Okay, here we are in ThinkOrSwim and just reviewing that order that we placed yesterday on WBA, Walgreens. And it turned out this morning it did go ahead and execute that and roll it at 8:45 or so, 15 minutes after market open, and we received a 26-cent credit for that roll. And I do need to go over and track that transaction. However, before I do, I wanted to go ahead and just review all of the current other positions because it looks like, before we review this part, I did put a little watch list here with extrinsic value right here in this column so I could quickly monitor the extrinsic value in all of these positions. So it looks like AT&T needs to be rolled, Ford needs to be rolled, and Key may need to be rolled too. We will look at that one as we get to it. But these other ones seem to be doing okay, and there's the WBA, the one that just rolled this morning. So these other positions are doing okay for now. All right, so let's just start at the top. So it looks like Ford right here is hovering at 0.1. It keeps on dipping down sometimes, and I mean these numbers change obviously a lot. WBA this morning was jumping from 0.05 to 0.15 like every other second. It was crazy how it kept on jumping up and down. So let's go ahead and just click on this one. You left click on it to select the row. We're going to right click, create a rolling order, and we'll see what we can get for this. And by the way, yesterday I was mistaken. I thought that WBA was giving us a 25-cent credit or whatever, and the trading price was $11 and something, so it was like a 2%. Well, that was false. It turns out when you right-click and do create rolling order, you can see how this is going for the stock symbol Ford, F, but the one showing up here is Paramount. So that's not accurate, so we want to go ahead and just switch that over so we got some real numbers. And the funny thing about it is I really shouldn't have been referenced at it anyway. You can actually just reference what the credit is you're getting versus the strike price, and that'll tell you if you're getting, more or less than the 1%. Okay, so this automatically pushed it out a week as normal, and it looks like this one's not traded, and it could be because of the strike price. So yeah, let's see. Basically what happened is that I set it for $12.50, but when dividends come out, it adjusts the strike price automatically for you. And if you're looking at future time frames for that adjusted strike price, it won't exist, so it'll say not traded. So what you have to do is change it to one that is traded. And it's kind of interesting that says that's not traded as well. So let's see here. Well, looks like they're all not traded. Huh. May have gotten stuck in, okay, not sure what was going on there. We're going to go ahead and restart this over, create a rolling order, and it does adjust it for those prices, but as you can see, that's not traded. And I did start adjusting the strike price, but that wasn't what I should have been doing. Instead, I just push it out another week, and there we go. We're starting to see the credit again for 10 cents, but it's trading. The strike price is $12.32, and it's trading at 12. So I want to see if I can get a little bit more. So March 22nd, that's not quite 30 days out. 28 is exactly 31 days out, and we can get a 14-cent credit, which is more than 1 cent or 1%. Sorry, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get that one. So we'll go ahead and click send, confirm, and there we go. It rolled that one successfully. So here we go. All right, so now that one rolled. As you can see, now it's out to 31 days, and it has time value. So we're good to go on that one. Okay, Key is hovering at 0.12. I'm not going to make a move on that one. I will monitor it later today, and I may have to go ahead and adjust that one. All right, so AT&T is definitely below the 0.1 threshold. It has 11 days remaining. We're going, let's see, what is it doing? So the strike is 17, and it's 44 cents below that currently, the trading price. We're going to go ahead and right click, create a rolling order, which will push it out an additional week. And so this is T and this is T, so that's good. All right, but it's only giving us 4-cent credit to push it out a week. So the 15th is 18 days out. Let's go ahead and push it an additional week. 7 cents, still not much. This may be one we have to hold on to. So the 28th is exactly 31 days out, and see, only 9 cents. So that's like giving us nothing. So we may actually end up having to hold this one. Hold this one meaning let it go ahead and expire and we exercise it. So let's see, the 28th of March. We're getting to that 30 to 45 day window. Okay, 12 cents. I don't know. Let's go out one more week, the 19th. Now, there we go, 34 cents. So what is the 19th? The 19th is 53 days. So see, that's a lot more. But 34 cents is more than almost double than I normally get. So that is a 2%. That is like 1% a month about. So that's still a good deal. I might actually go ahead and do that one because I don't really want to buy it right yet. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. And that one executed. All right. So yeah, 53, that's probably about the extent of how far out I would want to push it. And honestly, the only reason I did pull the trigger on that one is because the credit did jump up quite a bit. It probably did jump up because there might be earnings or dividends or something that week. So that might have been what did that for me. But if it would have still been low, I wouldn't have pulled the trigger on that. I would have just let it expire and get assigned, and then I would have just owned the shares and then wrote covered calls on it, and then also played a cash secured put on the other side of it. All right, moving on. 0.15, nothing to do there. Walgreens is the one that rolled earlier. All right, so just to refresh this, it looks like we're all good right here. Key is still hovering at 0.11. So I don't know, let's go ahead and just see what we can get on this one because it only has 4 days left. So not much time left on that one. And it's a 14 strike and 13.70, so it's only 30 cents, so it still has a lot of room. So let's go ahead and try and create a rolling order for that one. And again, so key is selected, just verifying that. So pushing it out an additional week only gives 11 cents. That's not 1% of 14, so let's push it out one more time to see what we get. 22, that looks better. So the 15th of 20, so it's 18 days out. Okay. All right, there we go. And again, the reason why I keep on doing this is because I'm reutilizing the same collateral. So I don't have any additional collateral at this time in this account in order to put another cash secured put position in. So I would only be able to write covered calls. And generally when I own the stock and I'm in a position to write covered calls, I like to write a cash secured put and a covered call at the same time because one of them is guaranteed to be a winner because the stock can only go one direction in price. So I try to hold on to the cash secured put and roll it for as long as I can, as long as I'm making more than that 1% each time I do it, in order to reutilize the collateral that I have involved at all times. So, okay. So it looks like we're good on all of the extrinsic value. VFC, I will say, before I even started recording this, was hovering around the point where I would probably want to roll it, but it's not currently, so I'm going to let it ride, and I think we've done a few already, so we need to go ahead and track all of these transactions over on the website. All right, here we are on the website, myatmm.com, and let's see, we want to come over to cost basis, and the first one we want to track is WBA for that roll that we did. And again, since we rolled it, we don't have to go through the process of doing the roll position and entering the closed price and then entering the new price, because ThinkOrSwim rolls it all up into one transaction for us, which makes it really convenient and nice for us to use. So all we can really do, or all we really need to do, is come in here and delete the current position, and then we'll add a new position. The start date today, sell to open. It's a put, one contract. The expiration that we rolled it to is March 15th. So we're going into March 15th. The strike price is $22.50, and we received $26 for that. Go ahead and click save. That moves it into the puts group, and it puts the temporary helper transaction line here. And it wasn't 65 cents because we had the buy to close and a sell to open, so that was two transactions. So it's $1.30, and it's 2 cents for the fees. Move that down to our area where we're getting ready to save the transaction to the permanent history. It automatically calculates the premium received, the credit minus the commission and minus the fees. Click save, and that adds it to the permanent history. All right, so WBA is running about 103 total collected on that, on $22.50 in collateral. So the next transaction we need to track is over for Ford. Come over to Ford. Again, we can delete the existing one because it combines the transactions for us. Enter a new one, sell to open, put, one contract. Expiration was out to March 28th. And basically I have to ThinkOrSwim on another monitor, so it's easy to look at and refer over to what I need to plug in right here. The strike price is, it's actually saying $12.32. We're going to go ahead and keep it like that. It was originally $12.50, but again, when the dividend came out, it adjusted it. All right, so 14 cents or $14 collected. The new temporary transaction was put down here. Again, it was a buy to close and a sell to open, so it's $1.30 and 2 cents for the fees. Move that down, save to the permanent transaction history, and we're done with this one. Total 141 collected on this guy, and 1,232 collateral. All right, next one, AT&T. Again, delete this one. So you can see how you can quickly start to track your transactions in here fairly fast. It's pretty easy to use. All right, so the expiration on this one, this is the one we had to push out 53 days. So this actually jumped out to the next month. And again, I don't normally do that far out, but the price it gave me was 2%. And so that's like 1%. 1% a month is like probably the bare minimum of what I ideally like to attain. If I can't get that, then I'll just let it expire and get assigned, and then I'll just own the shares, and then I'll just collect the dividends however long I end up owning the stock, and while running covered calls and cash secured puts. So, all right, so what the strike on this one was 17. We received 34 cents or $34. Click save on that. The temporary transaction has the metrics in here for us. Only is $1.30 because again, buy to close and sell to open, and 2 cents. And move that down, click save, saves to the permanent history. All right, and the last transaction we have to go is, oh, and again, we've collected $63.70 on this one. All right, is key. Okay, again, remove the old one, add a new one, sell to open, put, one contract. The expiration is the 15th of March. Strike is, what is it, 14. Collected 22 cents, $22. Click save. The temporary record's ready to go. $1.32. Move that down, save to the permanent record, and there we go. $89 total collected. So we now have that total thing. Now what I do like to do after I've already entered all the transactions, and I will come back to this here in a second. I want to show you something else, but is I like to come over to the dashboard, and I like to check the totals. So the total it's shown in the brokerage is the 1270.84, and I'm actually looking at the total right now, and it is not matching, which is surprising. So give me a second to work this out, figure out what the math is here. Okay, I figured out what the problem was by looking at the account statement history in ThinkOrSwim. I'd actually forgotten to log one of the transactions I ran on VFC back on, let's see, on February 22nd. So I actually needed, I forgot to remove that one and add this new one. So the start date on this one was back on February 22nd. It was a sell to open, it was a put, it was one contract, and expiration on it was March 8th. Move down a month. The strike price back on that was 17 and it was for 19. All right, and it again was 2 transaction because it was a roll, 2 cents. So now add that, there we go. Now when I come over to the dashboard, yep, now it's matching exactly. So this number right here is matching the bottom line on the account statement history, the total balance in ThinkOrSwim. So those numbers are matching exactly. That's how I know I got all the transactions entered correctly. And as you can see, so this is the overall total of all the transactions that I've run. Total of 37 transactions total in all of this. And here's all of the numbers per stock symbol, the overall gain or loss, and also the percentage allocation for the entire account that I'm into each one of these positions. And if you go to the premiums tab, you can see what you've collected over the period of time that you've been tracking the transactions. So far for the month of February, I've collected $583 total. And that one thing I did want to show you back over on cost basis, some additions that I've recently made and I'm testing out currently is I've just made these arrows instead of the previous and next button so you can click them. So instead of clicking the drop down to change between these, you can go sequentially through each one until you get to the end, and then it won't be able to go any further, and then you can go back through if you want. So yeah, and also I have added for members a new delete feature, so you can actually delete symbols out if you want. You can click delete and it'll ask you to verify, and you actually have to type in the word delete, so you can't just accidentally delete it because this is a permanent, irreversible operation. You have to actually type in the word delete and then proceed button enables, and I don't want to delete this, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to X out of this, but that will give you a way to clean up your list for members. They will be able to clean that list up. It's not currently available, but I will be pushing it out probably this coming weekend. But anyway, yeah, wanted to go ahead and just review the roles that I needed to do today. There was quite a few of them, and track all of those transactions. And we will continue to review the extrinsic value and all the stocks for this entire week and see if we do any more rolls. I'll see you next time. I want to thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and go out today to myatmm.com and get your free account so you can start tracking your own transactions. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.